Hey everyone, it's Neon Polygons, and today I want to talk about a game that I believe is the most overlooked hidden gem on the Nintendo 3DS, and in my opinion is not only one of the best 3DS games out there, but it's also one of the best baseball games, surprisingly, I've ever played. And that's Rusty's Real Deal Baseball on the Nintendo 3DS. It's made and published by Nintendo themselves, and so I'm kind of surprised that a lot of people really don't know about this game, given that it's from Nintendo directly. But there's a few reasons why, and I think probably the biggest reason is because one of Nintendo's earliest attempts at microtransactions. And this is obviously when people hear the term microtransactions, it's not exactly a very pleasant experience. It's not a very, positive sentiment that you normally get when, you play games that already have that as the premise where it's going to be about, paying to play more. But what Nintendo did really well with Rusty's Real Deal Baseball, in addition to not just being a great baseball game, was they made the whole microtransaction experience incredibly rewarding. And I'll show you what I mean by that, and I'm gonna just play the game. And one of the things that you'll know when you watch this game is that it's it kind of looks like it's Animal Crossing for baseball. Now, there is a storyline to this game, and you're probably wondering, where does baseball come into play? Well, the short premise of this game is that you are one of your Mii characters, and you just happen to live in this house, and you're going to shop for video games at the store, in which the main character, or the, I guess, title character, Rusty, he sells baseball video games. So let's go in. And as you kind of progress through the game, there is a storyline element to it, surprisingly. And this storyline element really, again, has nothing to do with baseball, but it is important because a lot of the context that you get from the storyline determines ways that influence the microtransaction experience. So as you'll see here, he's talking about getting a remote control truck just previously. And the idea here is that there's really kind of two sides of this game, right? There is the baseball element of the game, and then there is the microtransaction element of this game. So it's kind of like, in a way, a mixture of an RPG, mini game, party game, I guess, choose your adventure style game. It's kind of like a very unique experience that, again, only a company like Nintendo could make and think of. So as you'll see here, he has a number of games that he's selling, all at $4. Now, you can purchase all of these games at $4, but that's not the premise here. The premise is you want to be able to buy each of these games not at $4, but as cheaply as you can. And you do that by negotiating and bartering with Rusty. So you'll notice that within each of these games, they say $4 and they'll say discount available. And then you'll see other games that say use discount tickets. So there's two ways that you can get this $4 price to under $2. And the first way is, as I mentioned, there's a storyline element to it. So based upon the story, you can play portions of the games that you've already purchased and use the items that you get in those games through playing them. And you'll see them over here. As you notice, I have some donuts, I have scissors, a shovel, a bouquet of flowers, that depending on the element that you are in the story, you can use these items to make Rusty happy, and he will give you a better price as you negotiate and haggle with them. Now, with some games that you want to get, it'll say use discount tickets. And in that case, you can use these coupons, essentially, that you get by playing the games that you've already purchased previously, to essentially bring down that $4 price down to under $2. So in this case, what I would probably do is I would use a 30% coupon off that $4, so I can take out essentially you know, $1.20 off that $4 price, so then it becomes 280, and then I would use an additional coupon to bring that down to $1 to make it 180, right? And then use another 30-cent coupon, or was a 50-cent coupon to bring that down to $1.30. So you can essentially use coupons that you gain from other parts of the mini games that you've already purchased to negotiate and bring down the price even further. So the whole goal here is not to purchase all these games at $4 a piece, but to work and negotiate with Rusty to get them down to like under $2 or as low as you're willing as he's willing to go. Like such as this game right here, Gear Games. You can actually get the discount by getting tickets or discount tickets that you would win in the mini games that you play. So as you'll see here, he'll talk about this game that I can purchase from him. What baseball players need, blah, blah, blah. Now, anyways, as I'm going to show you here, this is how you can kind of negotiate. And instead of paying the full $4 per each minigame, which you can, if you just want to get this over and done with, you could just pay $40 and buy every game. But the real joy in this is actually getting to, haggle with him and get a discount. So I'm actually going to say, use a discount ticket, right? And so it's $4 right now. And I can use up to 3 tickets that you see I have here. So I'm going to use the half off ticket, right? I'm going to use that. So instead of paying $4, I'm going to pay $2, right? And now I want to get this like even lower. I'm going to actually use another, you can use up to 3 discount tickets. I'm going to use another discount ticket. And which one should I do? I have $1 off, I have $50 off, or 50 cents off, I have 30% off. I think because I want to use my tickets elsewhere, I'm going to do, let's do 50 cents off, or actually let's do 30% off. How much will that give me? So I have 2 of those tickets. That now cuts it down to $1.50. And he can't go any lower than this. This is really it. So down $1.50. And I will buy this game using my real money. So I basically was able to negotiate getting $4 down to $1.50. And believe it or not, this is really fun. It's actually like a really fun way to kind of just buy mini games, and all doing it through microtransactions that are a negotiable price. Now, kudos to Nintendo for making microtransactions actually a fun part of a game. Now, I'm actually going to purchase this game with real money. And like, as I mentioned, this is only one part of the game. 2 parts of the game. Basically, one part of the game is buying, doing the microtransaction negotiations, and the other part of the game is actually playing the mini games. So it actually adds a very unique experience where it actually makes the microtransactions kind of a fun part of the game. And again, it's only something that Nintendo could do, where they can turn something that people generally scoff at and make it a fun experience. Like, I myself have loved playing this game because I love trying to get Rusty to like almost rock bottom prices and buying them at a low price. Now, the great thing about why you would want to buy these games is not only is the experience of getting it down to a lower price rewarding, but the games themselves are actually really well done. Like, all these mini games are a lot of fun, and as I said earlier, it's actually one of the best baseball games that I've ever played. Each of these games kind of go over an element of baseball, whether it's fielding, batting, being an umpire, different ways of batting practice, etc. And all of them are just so satisfying, and they actually take part of the lineage of Nintendo. In fact, there's a lot of references to some of Nintendo's previous toys that they've made before they became a video game maker. So I'll show you some of the examples of some of the games that I've already purchased through Rusty. And all of them look like the old school NES Famicom cartridges from back in the day. So the ones that I've already started opening, they look like a Famicom cartridge, as you see there. But the ones that I haven't taken out of the box yet, they're still neatly in cases. But all of these games are like incredibly satisfying, especially this game, Bat and Switch. You actually get this game as a demo when you first download this game. And I've never played a more satisfying like hitting dynamic in a baseball game before. And it's surprising like that this game is a mini game in this microtransaction game for the Nintendo 3DS. It's like I can't tell you how satisfying and how much fun this mini game is. All the mini games really are. And it just adds this really great experience of Rusty's Real Deal Baseball. So let's go over one of the games that I played right now and just show you a little bit of the gameplay footage. Now in this game, it's pretty straightforward. It's basically batting practice. But as I mentioned, I've never played a game where like hitting just feels so satisfying. So goal here is just to hit the ball, but just the feel of hitting is just, I mean, just the sound of that hit is, it's just, and I suck, I just struck out. But the sound of hitting is just, and the feel of it and the timing of it is just so well done.
And lastly, I just want to mention the game's music. I just feel the soundtrack is so well done. It has this tranquil, vibe to it that, throughout the entire time that you're playing this game, you're trying to negotiate pricing, you're trying to play baseball, yet the music in the background is like soothing and comforting, and it's just a relaxing experience that you wouldn't expect from a game where it's kind of compelling you to spend money. So kudos again to Nintendo and whoever scored this game for just making a wonderful soundtrack. And here, take a listen for yourselves for a little bit. So with that said, Rusty's Real Deal Baseball is, in my opinion, the most overlooked gem on the Nintendo 3DS. Now, this title was only available via the 3DS eShop, and unfortunately, because of the nature of how this game, was created, if you don't get it now, if you don't get the game at all on the 3DS before it closes, unfortunately, that's it. This game just disappears into the ether. So definitely get this game. I do think it will be one of those games that a lot of people will look back on and say, wow, that was a wonderful game that was lost to time, and is in my opinion, a beautiful gem in the Nintendo 3DS library. Check it out, Rusty's Real Deal Baseball for the Nintendo 3DS.